Hi, everybody. It's John DePietro, and this is 30 years at the Centrum DCU Center. I am with Mr. Brian Wiener. Brian was the first director of marketing at the Centrum. Brian, you really put that building on the map.
Well, I think it was a lot of people that were responsible. I was just one little peg in the cog.
And we were all 30 years younger then, too.
Oh, and I had hair and a beard, or no beard, and yeah, and I looked good, so, you know. Yeah.
And the hair that was there was a different color than now, huh?
Yeah, any color would have been good at this point, but yeah.
You know, right after the building opened, the local paper heralded it, "No more Little Town Blues." That had to be, from a professional career point of view, a highlight for you.
Oh, it remains the most amazing thing I've ever been involved with. It was very exciting because I think it changed an entire city's perception of itself, so it was a great time.
Of itself, that's very important, of itself, just as much as what other people thought of Worcester at the time, huh?
Yeah, I think, you know, we came up and we looked at the city and we knew it had amazing reach for New England, but nobody in Worcester took itself seriously, not that way. And then the Centrum opened and all of a sudden they realized they were at the center of the world. So it was a really great time for people who lived in Worcester, and I don't think the city's ever looked back.
And some of the big acts always had good things to say about the building and the staff. That's got to be important, too, for the growth.
Yeah, I think the advantage that Worcester had was the building was staffed with brilliant young people who today are still extraordinarily successful in their own right.
And the amazing part about it, it wasn't like many civic centers throughout the country at the time in the 80s. They were run by cities and put together by political hacks. And you guys were professionals coming in from Philadelphia with really no track record, but no connections to any of the people in town. And that turned out to be a benefit.
It did. It was, I mean, I think we came in, we were viewed as carpetbaggers almost because we were coming from Philadelphia. But after a time, people realized we were working in their best interests, and it ended up being very effective for the city.
How about some of the politicians that you had to deal with, not naming names, but the political structure that people said this building will never make it?
Well, you know, I mean, it's very easy to be a contrarian, and so we had lots of people that had a contrarian mindset. But in fact, they were all very courageous. The guys who are men and women, they're really no longer around today, but they were very courageous people, and they fought hard for the benefit and the good of the city. But I mean, I think what they did was meaningful, made a difference, and changed the city.
Brian, give me some of the names of the people that if you were running this series of interviews, that you would have on for future events, for future episodes.
Well, I mean, Tony Tavares would be a guy you'd want to reach out to because he's the greatest character that I've ever known in my life. Rich Creswick, who's now in Newark running the Prudential. Of course, Neil Sulkus was a great general manager, and Sandy Dunn today. And there have been a lot of also behind-the-scenes people like Linda Graves, who's been there forever. Jim Moen, been there forever. Kevin, oh, I still talk to Kevin. I still talk to Kevin Hannum. So they're great people. These are the people that made the Centrum.
Brian, thanks so much for being with us on our first venture. We're going to try to reach out to those people, and thank you so much for being with us.
Pleasure.
This is the start of 30 years of fun at